Guys, I wore a fragrance this past weekend and it gained me so many compliments. When I say so many compliments, I mean, I gotta think for a second because I don't think that I've gotten this many compliments from one specific fragrance in quite a long time. If you're interested, because I am going to share the fragrance with you guys today, if you're interested in hearing about what fragrance gained me so many compliments, then please keep on watching.
One look and I breathe. One touch feels skinny.
Hey guys, before we get started, to all of my returning subscribers. Hey guys, to all my new subscribers. Hey, my name is Sunny. Here on my channel, we talk about all things fragrant, all things fragrance, all things that smell good. We may throw in, sprinkle in a little things here and there. If you have not done so, please consider hitting that subscribe button, turning on your post notification bell. You have now crossed over to the sunny side, so please drop some comments below. I would love to chit chat and get to know you guys. So guys, this fragrance, let's get into this fragrance, guys. When I tell you, I have not gotten so many compliments in a single, I would say, weekend, because I wore this fragrance a couple times this weekend, and not only did I get a ton of compliments, this fragrance is a beast mode fragrance, okay? So this fragrance is not one that, or I say this fragrance house is one that is that's popular. It's well known for another fragrance, and it is by the house of Giardini di Toscana. I almost messed that up. Giardini di Toscana, well known for Bianca Latte, okay? And the fragrance that I am talking about is Blue Mar. Guys, this is Blue Mar. Of course, this bottle should look very familiar because it looks very much like the Bianca Latte bottle. Now guys, one thing that I can say about a fragrance house, when I have a fragrance house that does one fragrance very well, amazing, then typically you're going to find several fragrances from that same house that are probably going to be good, okay? You're going to probably find something that you're going to enjoy. And so because Bianca Latte was on point, I knew that there were going to be several others probably in this collection that were going to be great. And of course. So guys, I was in Chicago and I came across Blue Mar. Guys, when I tell you, first of all, when I tell you this is a beast mode fragrance. So initially, I was just kind of running out. I've not really played around with this fragrance too much. I hadn't. I bought this fragrance a few months ago, and it's kind of really been sitting, and I just grabbed it one day, sprayed it on, and I took my dog out. Yes, I sprayed it on to take my dog out for a walk, and literally took my clothes off, threw them in the laundry basket. Okay, a day went by and I was doing laundry, and when I tell you, I could still smell the fragrance. Now, y'all, I live in Southern Florida. It was hot. I was outside, and so for me to be able to still smell that fragrance when I was doing laundry, I was like, whoa, okay. So I decided to wear this fragrance out. And when I tell y'all, the entire day until the night, so I was going all day, from the morning until the evening, and I did not take a decant with me, okay, because I was rushing. So it was one of those grab and go. Like I talked about in my last video, I'm going to leave a link up here, okay, up here, because I always get it wrong, up here. I am going to leave a link about grab and go fragrances because sometimes you just don't have time for that lotion layering combo that we always like to do. This was a day I was rushing. I had to be somewhere. I just grabbed a fragrance. I sprayed it When I tell you this fragrance lasted from the morning until evening, I was gone all day, okay? And when I say all day, I mean from probably like, I left maybe around, I would say 10:30. I did not get back home until 12 o'clock midnight that night. That's how much I was running, okay? Had a whole day of events going on. I was getting compliments all through the night. And every time I walked past, I was at one specific place and went into the restroom, and this girl was just like, oh my God. She was like, you smell amazing. I was like, really? I'm like, I can't even smell myself. And she's like, no, as soon as you walked in, I could smell you. Later on that night, walked past the table, and they're like, there's the Perfume girl. Because I had walked past a couple times. They're like, you're Perfume girl. And I was like, Perfume girl? They're like, yeah, every time you walk past, they're like, we keep trying to figure out what you're wearing. It was this. Blue Mar. So let's kind of get into what this particular fragrance actually smells like, because it is a whole totally different take, okay? We know Bianca Latte is a beautiful, yummy, sweet, decadent gourmand. This leans totally different. So let's get into what Blue Mar actually smells like. Blue Mar, again, by the house of Giardini di Toscana. I always want to mess that up. And guys, this fragrance was actually released in 2024. And the perfumer behind this fragrance is Silvia, I believe it's Silvia Martinelli. And guys, this is a beautiful take on, and this is a unisex fragrance. Guys, this is a spin on just what you would consider a fresh, green, earthy, aquatic type of a citrusy, woody type of a fragrance, okay? So totally different than your Bianca Latte, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. It is not a gourmand. It is more of a fresh, citrusy, woody type of a fragrance. Now, when I first sprayed this on, my husband was like, he's like, I don't know. And I was, he's like, I don't know if I really like that. But when I tell you, I like it, okay? And that's all that mattered. I liked it. This was a love at first sniff for me. I actually purchased this at the House of Dubai in Chicago. And when I smelled this, immediately I was like, yes. I was like, set that to the side. I was like, I know for a fact that I want it. There was no questions, no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. I knew that I wanted this, so I was like, set this to the side. This is one that I am getting. Now, when it comes to the scent profile and the notes of this particular fragrance, because like I said, my husband was like, he's like, I don't know. But when I tell you, compliments, compliment after compliment after compliment. So at the top, this has bergamot, there's grapefruit, lemon, pink pepper. In the mid, there is cypress, sea notes, and at the base, there is oak moss and ambergris, okay? So at the top, of course, you're gonna get that bright citrus from the bergamot, a little spiciness from that pink pepper. Now, the cypress is gonna give it woodiness as well, okay? The sea notes, that's going to give it that freshness, the sea, little freshness, a little saltiness from the sea, the sea nuances, or, if you think of sea notes, I think of like ocean water. So like fresh sea water, ocean water, sea salt. This is what it makes me think of. The oak moss in my opinion leans earthy, woody. And then of course you get that ambergris. And again, in my opinion, when you think of ambergris, you think of a musky, kind of fresh, slightly animalic. But this, in my opinion, doesn't really lean animalic, but it gives you more of the fresh, musky. It can also lean a little ambery, but for me, I get more of a musky type. Almost feel like I get a little bit of a metallic or a mineral type of a note in there. But guys, when I tell you, when you spray it, and it all blends together and it dries down and it just leaves this fresh kind of green, citrusy, woody scent profile that lasts all day long. Now, when I first sprayed this, because you guys know that I am an oversprayer, I was like, whoa. When I got in the car, I was like, okay, I may have overdone it. I questioned myself. I was like, I may have done too much. I may have done too much. But y'all, when I tell you it lasted all day, now I do feel as though, because I took this fragrance, I wore it all day. So we did some casual things, we hung out, we did some shopping, and like I said, it took me right on into the evening from hanging out type of having some drinks went to a cigar lounge. We did, quite a few things. And when I tell you it was appropriate for every single thing that I did, and I will say, even leaving the cigar lounge, because, it's smoky, there's smoke in my hair, my husband said he could still smell this fragrance. So when you leave a cigar lounge and you can still smell your fragrance, that's saying something. So guys, that is all. This is again by the House of Giardini di Toscana. This is Blue Mar. Guys, I don't know. I'm going to stop saying things are safe blind buy, because, everything for everybody, everything isn't for everybody, right? But I will say, if you have a chance to get your nose on this, get a sample, at least test it out, okay? Just test it out, wear it throughout the day, and just see what your thoughts are. If you've tried it, drop in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. That's it for right now, guys. Again, if you have not done so, please click on that subscribe button. Turn on your post notification bell. Now that you have come over to the sunny side, drop some comments below. Maybe leave your scent of the day. That would be great. I love to hear what everybody is wearing. Until next time, guys, peace.